Hey guys, we're going to go over our Forex trades for today, Monday, May 4th. Hope you had a great weekend. Summer's starting to roll around. And it was an exciting weekend sports-wise between the Rangers, playoffs, the Yankees, Boston rivalry, the Kentucky Derby, the big fight, which was a complete bummer of a letdown. So hopefully you had some fun between that stuff and doing whatever else you do. We were busy. We didn't trade Friday, so no video. But today we were busy. We had some trades last night and this morning that we got out of. We did finally get out of Australian dollar, US dollar to pound US dollar correlation trade, which you're going to see here in a second. You're going to see the outs. We had 20% of our normal size there, and then we had a couple other total of 6 trades. Pulled out 23.2 pips. So the first one you're looking at here is Australian dollar to US dollar. We're long this 0.78693. Again, it's the correlation with the pound to US dollar, which we were short. We got out of this at this is the average price where we got out, 0.79548, because we actually got out of a piece of it this morning. We got out of 3/4 on the way up here, and then the last 25% of the trade we got out this morning. So we ended up having a profit of 85.5 pips, adjusted for size 17.1. And here's the correlation with the pound to yen. We were short this 1.52212. We covered 1.52682, losing 47 pips, or size adjusted 9.4. Again, on the way up. We got out of that when we got out of the Australian dollar, US dollar. Took the loss on 3/4 of it, and then we held 25% of it, which we made some money back. Still losing 9.4 on the trade. Like I said, those were 20% normal size. Euro US dollar, we had 40% of our normal size. We were long this last night, 1.11975. Long 1.11882. Weren't crazy about it because it was up near the figure of 1.20, but we did like that it was consolidating, and the consolidation was getting nice and tight. So we're looking for a move to go one way or the other, either a spring up or a spring down. So what we did was we had our stop loss in place. This was late in the evening. We were shutting the computers down. We were still in the trade. It really wasn't doing much by the time we were shutting them down for the evening. So we put our profit right around the figure, just ahead of the figure. You know our feelings, of the figure. It's a big psychological level, 1.20. Every figure can be big psychological areas. So we put it right there. Unfortunately for us, it happened while we were while we were sleeping. So we ended up putting it there just ahead of the figure at 1.11975, the whole amount, which we had 40% of our normal size, picking up 9.3. If this happened while we were watching it, we could have got out of a half or 3/4 of it up near the figure and see if we pop through and see if we could pick up another 10, 15, 20 pips on the last piece, which is exactly what happened. Like I said, unfortunately for us, it was in the 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever. We were snoozing by then. Pound yen, same situation. We were short this 181.797. Same type of a scenario, consolidation. Consolidation was getting nice and tight. We were setting up with higher lows and lower highs as pinching in as a triangle, waiting for it to break down. You have this move down here in the 30-minute chart. So it busted down again. Now we're not near the figure, So we covered it 181.600 for 19.7 pips. We had 20% of our normal size on this trade, picking up 3.9 pips. We were risking a little more on this trade, so that's why we had smaller size. Again, happened while we were not in the office, so we just put an offer out there to cover right around that 20 pip level. We chose the 181.60, and that's where we got filled, 181.60, picking up 19.7 pips. Again, unfortunately for us, because if it happened, maybe hold a little, see if it makes a run down to the half figure, which it did. It actually broke it a couple times before it tried to bounce. So, we might have been able to pick up a little bit more. We don't always do that. Sometimes we do. Last one was a correlation between the US dollar and Japanese yen with the US dollar to the Singapore dollar. Let me see if I could get that up here. Okay, so this is the correlation because FXCM doesn't have on their platform, their charting platform, they don't offer the US dollar, Singapore dollar. So what you see here is the chart itself. The green and red bars is the US dollar to the Singapore dollar. The blue is the US dollar to Japanese yen. It ranges about 600, 650 pips. Last night it was about a 500 pip spread, maybe a little bit more than that when we put it on. We went long US dollar, Singapore dollar, and we went short US dollar, Japanese yen. And you'll see what ultimately happened. If I could get back that, let me close this. Okay, so US dollar, Japanese yen, we were short this 120.181 in the correlation trade. It came down, approached, this happened while we were actually in front of the computers last evening. Came down, approached the figure. We covered 120.032, picked up 14.9 pips on that. We had 30% of our normal size. Adjusted for size is 4.4 pips. And the US dollar to the Singapore dollar, which was the other side of this correlation, we were long this 1.33055. At the same time that we got out of the US dollar Japanese yen, we got out of the US dollar Singapore dollar, picking up 11.9 pips, size adjusted 3.5. Worked out nicely. It's actually closed a little bit more this morning, I believe, so you could have done even better. So that's it. We're going to wrap it up. If any signals come out to be coming your way, if you're still trading now, good luck. And if we get any action tonight or tomorrow, we'll do another video. Have a great rest of your day.